What up, listeners?
Okay.
What's up? That's the way we start the show, is me going, what up, listeners? What up, nerds?
Howdy, yokes. Before we get started today, I want to let you know that this episode of Bacon and Eggs is brought to you by the spirit of Christmas. Unless you don't celebrate Christmas, in which case, that's still why we did it. That's still how this happened.
Yeah, we're Christmas people.
But I mean, it's okay if you don't celebrate Christmas. I think I fall closer to the candle nights level of celebration, which would be the what I'm going to call the non-religious, but winter solstice.
Even in the heyday of my religious fervor, I was always more Santa Claus and Christmas trees than Jesus Christ and manger scenes.
Yes. Not that I'm against Jesus Christ and manger scenes, but you know what I mean. This episode,
I'm a little bit against your neighbor's manger scene at the end of the roadway there.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, it's just aggressive.
All right. I mean, at Easter they do a full cross with the blood and everything.
I don't think they do.
And the crown of thorns.
That would be wild. I don't know. If you live on the corner, be a little considerate.
I think that is them. I think that is in their mind that is considerate.
Right. Yeah, but it's not.
I like across the street they have the blow-ups.
Oh, your neighborhood goes all out. I love it.
I know, but across the street they have the blow-ups, and my daughter loves them. She thinks they're there for her.
Wow, that wine sucks. Happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas. We're drinking white wine tonight.
It's probably going to be a little bit of a loosey-goosey episode, as our Christmas episodes usually are.
I actually have a couple things I want to talk about on the loosey-goosey episode.
On the loosey-goosey episode. Well, this is going to come out Christmas Day.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Because I never actually remembered to post the Eurotrip episode.
Wow.
Yep. So, but we've posted an episode every Christmas since the start of the show. And we don't have time to record another episode between now and Christmas. So this is going up on Christmas Day, 100%.
So, howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Garland.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill. And I'm gonna take the Santa hat off. I'm gonna stop fidgeting with it. It's too small for my head.
And today, we're visiting the ghost of Christmas past.
Or maybe we're just haunting the worst person ever.
So strap on your petticoat.
And please stop singing.
Because today we're bringing you...
Spirited.
Spirited came out this year. It's that Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell movie. You might have watched it. You might not.
It's on Apple TV+.
It's on Apple TV+. It's pretty good.
I love a good Christmas Carol adaptation.
I love the Christmas Carol. I love adaptations there. And so for me,
it gets plus points for that every single time.
And I like it. This may be a guilty pleasure. I like it when non-singer actors go in on a singing part.
There were some songs in this movie that were unreasonably good for the movie.
I think it's a Will Ferrell song towards the end where he's singing high notes for 2 minutes straight.
Yeah. Well, Will Ferrell can sing.
Can he?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's a song and dance man.
And then Ryan Reynolds had that banger towards the front.
Ryan Reynolds, I thought could sing better, honestly. If you asked me, can Ryan Reynolds sing better than that, I would have said yes.
I like that he couldn't do much.
But
you know what this was? This was Christmas Free Guy.
Yeah. It was just fun. It's a fun movie.
It was long.
It was very, very long. Oh my God. It is 2 full hours long, which is really longer than any Christmas movie needs to be.
Yeah.
I should be able to if I'm not watching with commercials, I should be able to power through 3 or 4 Christmas movies of an evening.
90 minutes I feel like is a long Christmas movie.
Yeah. Yeah, the Illumination's Grinch is an hour and 22 minutes, and that's choice.
Have you heard the theory about the Illumination Grinch?
What theory?
That particular Grinch
it was supposed to live on the dust.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's a good little fan theory you've got there.
Good little redemption for Horton Hears a Who, which was simply awful.
I do think they talk about, so it's not canon to the book, but the theory comes from the story that's told in the live action Grinch, which is that Who children arrive
on snowflakes.
Not on snowflakes.
No, they live on a snowflake.
They live on a snowflake. They arrive on in parachuted bassinets.
Bassinets, yeah.
Yeah. My understanding when I watched that movie this year was that was a way to explain to Taylor Momsen, who plays Cindy Lou Who, like sex without talking about sex. Like that was their version of like the stork story. I didn't take that as like a true myth within the mythos, or I took it as a myth within the myth.
Well, I mean, the Grinch is not a person. Well, he's a person. He's not a human or a who. So like, it is a method of explaining.
No, but he is. So this is, if we go back to the live action Grinch, he is raised by two women. And yes. I think that they are making some sort of statement there. Lesbians treat their dogs like people.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. No, I thought you were going sincerely like terrible with it. Like a Grinch could only come from a gay couple. Like,
I mean,
the Jim Carrey Grinch is secretly extremely homophobic.
Yes, it is the first children's movie I ever saw that projects a female couple, like an all-female couple. And it's
violently homophobic. Yes. No, I don't think that's true. Yeah, I mean, clearly the Grinch is not. I think it's honestly a way to explain, like, not even explain sex, but to avoid explaining how the Grinch happened.
Right.
Because the Grinch is like a Jesus of pure hate. Right, like he
okay,
is.
Hold on. It's not like at the end.
He is immaculately born.
It's not like, okay, I understand you don't like the manger scene, but it's not like at the end of Matthew. It's like, and then Jesus actually stole Christmas from everyone, and his heart shrunk 2 sizes.
No, I'm not talking
about
the. I'm not saying Jesus stole Christmas.
Right, but it's not like Jesus does something to make his heart shrink at the end of the book.
No, but like he makes a sacrifice.
Right.
And the Grinch makes a sacrifice. He learns from the sacrifice. I didn't say he was reverse Jesus.
Okay.
I said he was Jesus born of hate.
The Grinch.
If Jesus is an immaculate being conceived of the love of God, the Grinch is an immaculate being conceived of the hate of God.
The love of lesbians.
The love of lesbians. That was the most batshit sentence I didn't know where I was going with that when I started it. That was the most batshit sentence I've ever said on this podcast.
The hate of God.
If I have offended Christians, I sort of apologize. But I don't think I'm that wrong.
I do think the Grinch falls more into the category of the prodigal son, though.
We're not here to talk about the Grinch, though. We're here to talk about literally a different, multi-adapted canonical Christmas story.
This is kind of where I want to have the conversation, though. Who is actually, I'll go with the word iconic, but also your favorite. Who would you draft first between the Grinch, okay?
Oh, who would I take in a draft, the Grinch or Ebenezer Scrooge?
No, it goes to Christmas Past.
Goes to Christmas Past.
Or Ebenezer Scrooge. Do you feel like Scrooge is I feel like
Scrooge is the Grinch in the Christmas Carol.
For sure, but is he the iconic character?
All right, fine. Draft of Christmas movie heroes that need to learn a lesson. Let's we'll be one of those podcasts, right? We'll do the draft thing. Who do you got? I'll give you first pick.
I do think I take the Grinch.
You're taking Grinch?
I think
I'll take George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life.
George Bailey's good. I would go Scrooge.
Yeah, you do get an advantage being the snake draft, or the non-snake draft is not working for me here. Let's see. I'm taking Liam Neeson's son in Love Actually.
Oh, because he does kind of start off like a menace.
Yeah.
You're right. Do the Wet Bandits ever learn their lesson?
They made a sequel, so certainly not.
But at the end of the second one, when the pigeon lady attacks.
I don't know what happened at the end of the second.
Pierce Morgan dressed as a pigeon lady.
Which Grinch?
Which Grinch?
Yeah, which Grinch are you taking? Because there's one George Bailey. There's one Thomas Brody Sangster. I don't remember his name. Daniel? Daniel's Liam Neeson.
Daniel. That's Daniel.
Is it Daniel? Daniel's the kid?
8 is a lot of legs,
Eight is a lot of legs, David. David's a good one, too.
I haven't
honestly.
watched that this year.
Oh, it's on my... I got a lot of... So we're spending Christmas at Caitlin's parents' house. So, like, I'll just be watching Christmas movies for 4 days. 4 or 5 days. So I got a lot of stuff to do.
A lot of movies.
Movies to watch.
So wet bandits don't really learn their lesson. But I think what is the freaking kid's name? Macaulay Culkin.
Kevin McAllister.
Kevin.
Yeah.
I think Kevin does learn his lesson.
You taking Kevin? I will take Jesper from Klaus.
Ooh.
The postman.
Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. I've got a violent crew.
You do. I think you could take there's a really good pick that I would make in this from a movie I don't like very much, but a pick that I would take in this spot if I was you.
The name that comes to mind is Walter from Elf.
Walter the dad?
Yeah.
Ooh, that is a really good one.
Yeah.
Man, that is a really good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Take that one to the bank.
I'm going to take the pick that you didn't take here.
Okay.
I'm going to take Tim Allen Santa Claus from the Santa Claus.
Ooh. That is, having Santa on your team is good.
Having like canonically magical Santa.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, that's good. I guess I got one more pick.
Yeah.
Of a reformed Christmas character.
Of a reformed Christmas character, yeah.
Shoot, dang.
Man. Man, Walter from Elf was a great pick.
You didn't see that one coming.
No,
at
I
all.
did not.
I suddenly can't remember a single Christmas movie.
I know. I'm out now. We got to do one more.
I think this is why Die Hard isn't a Christmas movie.
Because you can't take John McClane.
Because you can't take John McClane.
No.
It's not like at the end he's like, "Oh, I've discovered the meaning of Christmas."
The meaning of Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you can't take Hans Gruber. He's dead.
He dies, yeah.
Yeah.
You ever seen what's that one people freaking love? Alan Rickman.
Love Actually.
No, obviously.
Well, Alan Rickman in Love Actually is a weak pick in this draft. He sort of learns that lesson.
There's also already, Joni Mitchell.
The Joni Mitchell CD, man, is a good... It's a good enough gift that it almost makes Emma Thompson look like the villain for a minute. Almost.
For being cheated on?
For being cheated on. Yeah.
Golly.
I'll tell you what, man. People try to point issues out in that movie to me every year, and this is just my toxic trait is I won't listen.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know. They'll be like the Portuguese girl can't consent because they don't speak English, and it's just like I don't care.
He learns Portuguese.
He learns sort of
Portuguese.
What a language.
Christmas movies I've ever seen. Christmas movies. The only name I can think of is Robert Langdon, which is
you cannot take
Code.
Robert Langdon for the Da Vinci Code. Robert Langdon, I think, would go pretty high in all-time Roberts, though.
Give me Lucy.
Like Lucy from Charlie Brown?
Yeah.
Okay. I get behind that. I'm taking Jack Skellington.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He does learn the meaning of Christmas.
Yeah.
That, I think, cements it as a Christmas movie, too.
Yeah. It's not a Halloween movie.
This is Halloween.
Yeah, but like it is like it's not spooky enough for that. You can't have because even in the song in "I Miss You" by Blink-182, he says we'll have Halloween on Christmas. You can have Halloween on Christmas. You can't have Christmas on Halloween.
You could dress up as Santa.
Not without it being weird.
Or Buddy the Elf.
The part in this movie in Spirited where Will Ferrell won't give the time of day to the person dressed as Buddy the Elf.
I
So
think
good.
There's so this movie is full of references to movies these other two have been in, specifically Will Ferrell.
Mm-hmm.
There is an underrated one, hugely underrated.
Okay.
The climax of the movie is a Stranger Than Fiction reference.
Oh, he gets hit by the bus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah. That honestly, that is, I was very sold on this movie, and then it got very long, and I was just like, okay, are we gonna just? Because at first I thought we were just gonna end it where they lose, where like Craig, is that his name? Clint. Clive.
Clint. Because it was all caps, it would look like.
Yes, you're right. Yeah,
Clint Briggs.
Yeah, where I thought he wasn't gonna learn. That he wasn't going to learn the lesson. And then he did, and I'm like, okay.
I thought it was going to be like an Inception thing.
And then he fucking dies.
I knew he was gonna take the spot of Will Ferrell's character.
He learned his lesson and then immediately fucking dropped dead.
They hint at it earlier on when
Scrooge is like,
how long were you alive?
3.5 weeks. Yeah.
Biggest killer back then was January.
That was a good line.
But I thought maybe they were going to do an Inception thing where they were like, okay, we'll send Scrooge back into the real world, but that's all still the dream.
Yeah. Yeah, when he woke up in bed with Ryan Reynolds, I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely can't think about the logistics of it for too long.
No, I've seen a lot of reviews for this that say it's definitely better suited for Broadway. That would be the coolest thing.
Yeah.
This was humongous.
That it really was. It would be a very neat show. But that song that Octavia Spencer sings over and over again, The View from Here, that is like a properly good musical number. Like, it didn't feel like, oh, they just, wrote this for a because some of it felt like, oh, it's a big band movie musical number that we needed for the Netflix movie musical. And then Octavia Spencer starts singing this song about, like being through a window. Yeah, exactly. It felt like it was out of Dear Evan Hansen.
Yeah.
Some Pasek and Paul pop musical kind of thing. And I was like, where is this coming from in this Christmas Carol adaptation? They're coming for the Oscar. That's what they're doing. They're coming for the best original song.
Best original song
Oscar. Because Weird, the Al Yankovic story, is not eligible.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah, you can tell me whatever.
We talk every year. We do this freaking episode, and every year around this episode and the next one, we talk about New Year's resolutions and how they're either like an eye roll or they're such a great thing. I really don't know where we currently stand on it and what we said last year about it.
I don't either. I don't think I made any.
I have no idea if I did.
Yeah.
That was a whole other person back then.
Yeah.
But
it's been a long year and a very short year at the same time.
Can I give you a New Year's resolution for
Sure.
me?
Yeah.
I am so tired of not knowing how to fucking wrap presents. This is the stupidest. It is fold paper on box.
I tried very hard to
How
learn.
do you mess this up so bad? Me. How do me mess this up so bad?
I tried very hard to learn last year around this time. And I remember it was the day, it was Christmas Eve. I'm waiting for Kate to get off work so we can go drive up to her parents' house. Like, I have a 8.5-week-old puppy who is just hates me for putting him in the crate while I'm trying to wrap presents. He's so mad. He's screaming at me the whole time. And I'm watching the YouTube video. It's like, turn the box, catty corner. So it's not lined up with the paper, and then you just fold it over, and
You fold it again?
and then you fold it again, and I'm like, the wrapping paper's not big enough. Like, yeah, I see what you're doing here, but it's not wide enough. My box is too big for this. And I'm like, oh yeah, this only really works with like flat boxes. And I'm like, that'd have been nice to know before I started it. I bought here's the trick. Don't buy cheap wrapping paper.
Expensive wrapping.
Buy expensive wrapping paper.
I'll tell you the number one.
Got the grid on the back.
Butcher paper.
Butcher paper. Yeah, that's a good one. But either way, I bought some of the cheapest dog shit wrapping paper ever last year. And I fought with it and fought with it and fought with it. My presents looked awful.
I saw a TikTok this year that I've thought about it every minute of every day since I saw it. It was somebody asked a question on a gift wrapping TikTok, and it was, how would you wrap a pop, like a Soka over here, a cork, without it looking like a Soka or a cork or like a pop. And what they did was they wrapped
like an unboxed Funko Pop.
Yeah, no, a boxed Funko Pop.
Okay,
boxed. And what they did is they wrapped it and they twisted the paper on the outside so it looked like a Lindor truffle. But like with a square instead of a circle. And I was like, that's genius.
Yeah.
I could make my presents look so fun if it looked like these big giant candies under the tree.
Yeah.
And all they did was like wrap it up in the middle and then kind of just twist the sides. And I was like, I can do that. I can do that all day. I literally cannot do that.
So around this time last year, your brothers were still doing vlogs.
Yeah.
And Ben did a segment in one of his vlogs about trying to wrap a Yeti bucket. He got somebody at a white elephant thing or Secret Santa thing, like a Yeti bucket. And he's like, it can't be this hard to wrap a bucket. And I got like literally an hour's worth of footage of Ben slowly descending into the madness of trying to wrap a bucket.
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It is impossible.
And then I give a present to Kate, and she comes back 45 seconds later, and it looks perfect. It looks like you got it at Macy's like that.
This is what gets me now if you learn how to wrap. I don't want to assign gender roles to things, but women are better at wrapping paper.
Women are better at wrapping paper.
And if you're a woman who's bad at wrapping paper, I commend you for challenging gender norms.
Yeah.
Because if you are somebody transitioning who is becoming or is now...
You got to let me know at what phase in the transition it comes to you.
It comes to you. Because I have to... Here's the thing. If I spent the next 12 months, and I mean this, if I spent the next 12 months mastering the craft of wrapping paper, you know what happened next Christmas? Even if I got really freaking good at it...
Emily's would still look better.
Emily's would look better, or Emily... This has happened to me twice now. Beth does this. Alice does this. My boss's wife does this, where they wrap in the butcher paper and then they draw a scene on it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What the fuck is wrong with you?
And then they got twine.
I would think that if I spend a year on it, I'll get to twine.
Yeah.
I think I would get to twine.
They got the one piece of twine that somehow makes a cross around the box.
I can't believe that.
I don't know. Where does it cross?
Yeah. I'm so mad at wrapping paper. Because I'll tell you, I did the lollipop thing. That obviously didn't work. Since then, I went out and I got a box-shaped present. The first one was a sweater-shaped present. And I was like, oh my gosh, how fun would this sweater-shaped present be if it looked like a lollipop?
And then you see those people that they're like, oh yeah, I wanted to make it look like I got my kid a bike when I actually got him an iPhone.
Yeah.
And they construct a bike out of tubes and paper. And I'm just like,
I went out, literally, I got something like this. This was a Christmas gift years ago that Emily never opened. She said it was too advanced for her. I'm about to try this. Anyway.
That's the hash browns.
Is Tyler and Ethan Crochet.
Tyler and Ethan Crochet.
I had a box-shaped present, and I started doing that one. Still impossible.
Yep.
Still cannot be done.
Yeah.
This is one of those things where,
You don't have to wrap that baby Bjorn, do you?
No.
Okay, good. That's a big box.
This is one of those things where it's like, Walter White couldn't have been that good at cooking meth. Because just because you understand the concepts doesn't mean you can cook meth.
Well, I mean, he can make crystals. That was the thing. He knew how to make crystals.
Okay.
He knew how to chemically form crystals.
I know.
You don't cook meth, you grow meth.
I know in my heart of hearts that if I fold the paper, if I put this on the paper and I do this thing so that I know I have enough paper and I cut it and I fold it the way that it's supposed to, this should come out looking like a perfectly wrapped present.
Yep. It won't do that, though.
It won't do that,
Nope.
Which means Walter White may know in his heart of hearts that if he puts the Percocet and the Prilosec and the crystals...
There's not Percocet in meth.
Do you think I know what's in meth?
Not Percocet. That's a downer.
What's the...
Sudafed.
Sudafed. If I put the Sudafed and the
chili powder
and the gelatin in the oven at 350 degrees, it would not, the first time I did it, it would not come out perfect.
It would not come out perfect, no.
I would get it wrong.
I think I could pick up origami easier than present wrapping.
I do too. I thought about that. I've thought a lot about what hobbies I want to pick up in 2023.
Yeah.
Origami has
is it one? Yeah.
It's on the list. Crochet has hit the list.
There's a show on Netflix called Blown Away about glass blowing.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with it.
I know that glass blowing is like surprisingly easy to get into.
Is it? It doesn't seem like it is.
I think
And it's a competition show. It's like the Great British Bake Off, but for glass blowers.
Yeah.
You are the singular white person that hasn't watched this show, by the way, for what it's worth. The only one.
Okay.
I really expect you to just like, oh yeah, I know. So we just watched the Christmas version of it. And every time I watch this show, there's like 3 seasons now and a Christmas season, I am just like disgusted with myself with the fact that I can't make things with my hands. That I'm not like an artisan.
Like a Frank D. Fixer.
No, not even a Frank D. Fixer. Like that I can't I can't go like make you a chair.
Yeah. That pisses me off a lot too.
Constantly, dude. It's just so I gotta find
the crochet thing. I think I could do that.
Oh, I could definitely do that. I could learn to make a chair. Like I know for a fact I could learn to make a chair.
You know which one?
Not even like, oh, it can't be that hard to make a chair. It's just like I'm 100% certain I could learn to make a chair. But I don't. Like all these people make stuff. I don't make stuff. And I always feel like I should make stuff. Like I should be working with my hands.
Do you know which one I get into a lot?
What?
This is a rabbit hole I fall down, is repairing and restoring. Laptops is one, and I think that would be fun, but like old video game consoles is one that really gets me. Really, because it looks like you don't have to solder.
I could solder.
Once you tell me there's liquid metal involved, I
don't know if I could solder like a PCB.
I don't even know what that is.
Printed circuit board.
No, that's crystal meth. Printed crystal Beth.
Printed crystal Beth. Yeah, I don't know if I could solder on like a circuit board, but like, I mean, I've repaired guitars and stuff before.
Nope.
I'd
like to do that.
I could confidently change the pickups on a guitar.
I'm pretty sure with pickups on a guitar, the ones I see are all very expensive, and you just pull them out and put new ones in.
That's not true.
There's little magnets.
Nope, none of that.
Yep.
You don't do that. Like literally none of them do that.
It's because speakers are magnets.
Well, no, they have magnets in the pickups, but like, you got to solder them in. There's a wire.
Spell solder.
S-O-L-D-E-R.
I hate that.
Solder. Soldering.
I'm so mad at that.
I know how to solder.
Once I get to solder, that's when I'm like, nope, this is not.
Yeah, no, I know how to do that. Again, like I don't know that I could like.
Ooh, what about book binding?
Every time I see one of those, I'm like, this is the thing I should be into.
This is the thing.
He's like taking books and making them leather.
I'm always afraid though that if I learn this skill, this is the one. This is welcome to therapy with Tyler, where I'm the patient. If I can do it, it can't be that hard.
That's not true.
It can't be that.
That's not giving yourself any credit.
It can't be that impressive, because if I could do it, anyone could do it.
No, that's definitely not true.
I feel like I have a habit of taking shortcuts.
I mean, that's fair, but like, it's not about your habits.
Yeah,
like
this is one. You know how we can solve Rubik's cubes?
Yeah.
I've never had any interest in speed cubing. It has always been like
I haven't either.
Fidget.
Because the thing is, like, I know that I'm not good at doing stuff faster than other people. Like,
ooh, interesting.
Like,
ooh, stunning.
I don't think I'm not confident in my ability.
So what you're telling me is you're a loser and you know it.
Yeah. So like that's the thing is like I have no desire to get into speed cubing because I know that there would be like a limit to how good I could be at speed cubing. And maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. I don't honestly know.
This is kind of something that the podcast has taught me. Or maybe I'm projecting something the podcast has taught me into other potential hobbies in my life. And when we started the podcast in 2017, truthfully, all you had to have was a podcast.
Yeah.
And like you could network in the podcast community. You could do all of these things. In the year of our Lord 2022, if you want to make it as a podcaster, you are going to make it as a TikToker.
Yeah, you are a TikToker who has a podcast. Yeah.
And I have no desire to do that.
None.
I want this podcast to just be what it is. And if it breaks my heart that it won't grow because of the circumstances of the time that we're in and the work that I'm not willing to put in. But it's because the work I
am not gifted at the work you need to put in to make it on TikTok. Like, it does not come easy to me. It does not come naturally to me. It does not come enjoyable to me.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly.
None of those things.
I get into that part of it and I'm like, there is a formula to this and I don't like the formula.
I don't like the formula. I don't know the formula. I don't know where to find the formula. I don't want to learn the formula.
I didn't get into this because I wanted to make TikToks.
No.
I got into this because I liked the audio medium.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that we even film it, which I don't like, I'm not upset about. I like the filming and I like that there's a video version of it, but this is way beyond anything I ever expected when we started.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like, I understand that like you can watch a webinar that'll be like, oh, you just got to chop up your hour-and-a-half podcast into 15 digestible segments. And then you upload those as individual pieces. And it's like, I understand the concept of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't want to do
it. Yeah.
I don't want to upload. I don't want to think about hashtags. I don't want to like the right posts. I just want this.
Yeah.
This intimate conversation with Tori Wood.
Tori Wood, who are you specifically speaking to?
And Ethan Hewlin. And
nope, just Tori Wood.
And no, but I mean, I mean it though. This this is, I like the Facebook group where like occasionally, if it was all the time, fine. But like, I like how it exists where occasionally somebody will pop in and say, hey, I loved what you had to say about that. Or, you know, like I like.
So this is my thing is like
But I'm sorry. Let me just finish this. Yeah. This is my fear is if I got into in 2022, and I'm so sorry I interrupted you. I
You're fine. Bad You're not. It's totally good.
If I get into in 2023, let's say repairing vintage video game consoles.
Yeah.
The only way for me to have a steady stream of video game consoles to repair, like old Game Boys to repair, is if I make TikToks about it.
Yep.
And people send them to me.
Yep.
And I don't want to do that. I just want to repair them.
So recently I built a keyboard, like a mechanical keyboard.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I really enjoy this. And the whole time I was sitting there like, I should be filming this. I should be making this into a TikTok. It's a keyboard kit and tutorial that I found on TikTok. I should put it back into the TikTok verse. And I got done with it. I'm like, I really enjoyed doing that. I would like to do more of these, but the only way I could do more of these is turn it into a side hustle and make cool keyboards, spend a bunch of my money, make cool keyboards, hopefully sell them on Etsy, and then get more orders from my TikToks. And I just don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
I just want to make cool stuff.
Yes.
I think crochet is not a bad one for that reason. It's like yarn is
cheap.
Yarn's pretty cheap. All things considered, yarn's pretty cheap.
Yep.
And people will always, there's enough kids, dogs, cats floating around that I could make little baubles
or even
and fucking pass them out. And somebody will be like, oh, cool. I'll use this for 2 days and forget about it. And that's all I need out of it. Right.
Well,
like I don't,
I have a basement I can put all my baubles into.
Yeah. Like, but yeah, that's the thing is like, they're not hurting anything.
Right.
And it's like, it's not enough time spent. It's not enough money spent that like, if I give it to somebody and they don't actually want it, that I care that they don't actually want it.
I think I care a little bit. If I made you a beanie, had the day we met on it and you just threw it away.
I wouldn't throw it away.
You never wore it.
I can't guarantee I'd wear it, but
Do you think we can narrow down the day we met? I bet we figured it out with a computer.
Yeah.
The first day of school,
whatever the last Monday of the or the first Monday of the last month, whatever the first Monday of the last week in August of 2004 was.
Yeah.
Gotta be it.
Got to be very close to
Gotta be very close to it.
I do think it wasn't the first day. I think it was the second day of school.
No, it was the first day.
Was it?
Tyler, it was my first day in a new school system. It was the first day.
I very vividly,
because it was legitimately, I think it was my either last period or second to last period.
It was at the end of the day. My last period was.
It was not my last period.
My last period was history.
I had English with Miss Mahalo.
I had English with Ms. Mahalo's first and second period.
I had like writing last period.
Mr.
With Devin Wells and Amelia Cameron.
Oh, love them. Scotty went to Oberlin.
Scotty for Euro Trip went to Oberlin.
People who are listening to this show just after the Euro Trip episode are like, yeah, you guys just talked about that.
That was 2 months ago. I think it was early November, if not October, that we recorded that. Oh man.
I do want to pick up hobbies and better habits in 2022. Can I tell you one that I'm ashamed to admit?
Yeah.
I want to brush my teeth twice a day.
I mean, yeah, that would be an improvement for me as well.
That
would be a significant improvement for me as well.
You ever gotten on that train for like a couple weeks and then you're like, God, I feel clean.
No, I'm extremely bad at brushing my teeth.
Really?
I'm extremely bad at brushing my teeth.
We just grossed out a lot of people.
Yep, sure am.
People who are good at it
think we're the worst.
And I want you to know, people who are good at it, you have a talent. Chris Millihan is not listening to this. He would bring a toothbrush to sleepovers.
He would bring an electric toothbrush to sleepovers. Yep.
Yep. I live with my wife, and I'm like,
Chris Millihan.
She doesn't want to see me brush
Chris
my
Millihan
teeth.
was a 45-year-old man from the moment we met him. He would sleep in boxers and a white T-shirt, and brush his teeth with an electric toothbrush in 7th or 6th grade.
Yeah. He was so good about that.
Yeah. He would have like Tommy Hilfiger boxers and a white T-shirt.
At the peak of my habit tracking before Holden's birth, I was brushing twice a day, and I would get it. I was so disciplined about it. I would love to get back to this person. I was so disciplined about it that if at the end of the day I hadn't brushed my teeth the first time, I would brush my teeth twice in a row.
I mean, and that's the thing is like, I know for a fact that I could do that if I just started the habit.
Right.
So I actually have been thinking a lot about like what I want to do January 1st to like actually try to keep up with things this year. Not resolutions. I think that's the wrong way to think about it. I think New Year's resolution is designed to fail, because the pressure is on it failing. Right. But I know that in 2021, I read 200 books.
Yeah, I can commit to something.
I read 200 books. Right. That was a skill I developed over the course of the year. It was a habit I formed over the course of the year. And it was something that I felt weird about putting down for like months. I still, to this day, I'm like, because I've decided I'm going to do an abbreviated version of that challenge again next year. And I'm starting to get the itch, the Jones, where I'm like looking at my shelf, like there's all of those books on that shelf that you could read. All of those tomes are waiting for you.
You can go ahead and start.
Yeah, but I'm not going to.
You don't have to count anything you've read this year, but like you can.
No, but I just want to make it. Want to make it. Well, that's the thing. Is like I want to count all the books that I want to read.
That's the challenge with books. Is I do like, especially when it comes to an annual challenge, is I don't like starting the year midway through a book. No,
yeah, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Because then the whole year I feel like it's an asterisk.
Yeah, brushing your teeth is not a bad one. That's something I could probably stand to get behind.
That's one I always think about when I come back to like, I get very into like self-improvement and habit tracking and these things. And that's not that hyper focus. Is that what we call it when ADHD people?
Yeah.
That hyper focus is not what brought me to this conversation. So, because I know you don't like that conversation. I wasn't even thinking about that when we started this conversation. And I haven't been researching that lately. Brushing my teeth is one that I think about when I look at my ways I want to challenge myself. When I look at something like 75 hard, or I want to run a marathon, or I want to run a sub 25K, or I want to like these hard things that I always want to do.
Yeah.
I'm always like, what if you just get good at showing up?
Yeah.
What if you just like establish a morning routine and stick to it?
I have this problem where like, I'll sit around and be like, man, I can't go to the gym. I don't know my workout plan.
Just go.
Just pick something up.
They've got machines with little guides on the side of them.
Lift something.
That one gets me all the time. Or I'll do this. I have a Peloton and I will feel like I even had it in my habit tracker app for a long time. Do a 20-minute exercise you enjoy. And I felt like I'm really dialing myself back. 20 minutes isn't that long. Then as soon as I would sit down on the bike, I'll be like, okay, well, I've got to go hard.
Yeah.
And I've got 45 minutes, so I'm going to do a 45-minute workout and I'm going to go hard.
Yeah.
And because if I don't go hard, I'm not going to get better. Which I think
which is horse shit.
Which is horse shit, right? Consistency and showing up is how you get better. So what I've been doing instead is open the app, do anything in the app and feel no guilt about it.
Yeah.
So like 10-minute stretching class.
Yeah.
5-minute meditation. If you have 20 minutes on the bike, great. 20 minutes on the bike.
Sure.
Just ride for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just show up.
Yeah.
And that I feel like I have to get to brushing my teeth before I can get to just show up.
This is the thing that pissed me off so much because like I was doing so good with biking earlier this year.
Yep.
Where like I was going like 4 days a week, 5 days a week sometimes. And like going for as long a rides as I possibly could. I was really enjoying it. And I got hurt. And like not badly, but enough that like I couldn't comfortably ride a bike for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was June. And then it was the end of June. And it was 100 fucking degrees out.
It was a hot summer.
It was a hot summer. And just all of my motivation to get out and like go ride a bike was just evaporated.
Yeah.
Just vanished.
Yep.
And, then I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back to it in the fall. I'm gonna get back into it in the fall. I'm gonna get back into it in the fall. And this fall was terrible. One of the worst on rec. Like you and I both have just had a horrible end of this year. And
had that birthday weekend.
Yeah, that was great.
Couldn't ride your bike that weekend.
Couldn't ride my bike that weekend. Didn't have time.
Yeah.
And that was probably the last time the weather was decent enough to do it. But yeah, and it was just one of those things that like it was taken out of my hands. And I know I'm making excuses, but legitimately like it was so hot and I had lost momentum.
I think we also have to find a way to give ourselves grace for making excuses.
Yeah, well,
like that's something that
that's not going to happen.
I've worked sales too long.
People don't give themselves great. Not just salespeople, people.
I know, but it's one of those things where it's like
there's so much of this environment of like the only thing stopping you from being the best you is you, and like
I think I think a lot about how you and I were like 23, 24. If you weren't making time for somebody that you wanted to be friends with, you knew subconsciously. You could read into your subconscious and say, I don't know that I really want to be friends with this person because I know that I continue to subconsciously make reasons not to spend time with them.
Yeah.
As a 30-year-old with 3 children and a very demanding job and 2 dogs and a marriage, and the reason I'm not spending time with you or anyone is because I cannot tell you how badly I want to hang out.
Yeah.
I like going to the bar. Yes. Yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I think about that a lot about like, there was I'm friends with this guy named Tommy, who's a personal trainer, and he's always talking to me about, hey man, let's train for this marathon. Let's get big. Let's get swole. Let's do this thing, this, that, and the other. You'll feel so good about yourself. And it's like, Tommy, dude, the barrier of entry to get to where you are, the 4 weeks of this sucks, I don't have.
Yeah.
I wish so badly that I did. I don't have it.
Yeah. I get such a brain block with stuff like this too, and I hate it, right? Because like I know that I'm making excuses for no reason. Because like I'll be like, oh, I want to run a 5K. I'm going to do one of these couch to 5K programs, and it's like, you know, run Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Monday sucks. Like not even that you get up and do the thing, but you wake up Monday morning, you feel like trash, and it's just like, well, you know, I gotta wait till next Monday. And that's the thing I hate about it. It's like I cannot fathom starting in the middle of the damn week,
right?
Because all of these stupid programs go like, you know, you do it 3 days a week, and then you start your next week. And so I can't go Monday or Wednesday, Friday, Monday. Start like I can't wrap my head around.
Can't.
I know I can't. But I legitimately can't wrap my head around that. Right. So I'm like, there's some part of me that's waiting for like my good Monday.
Right. There are no good Mondays.
There are no good Mondays. It hasn't happened.
Here's one. You live in an apartment.
I do.
I live in a home. I have a fenced in area in my backyard.
Yeah.
I think about this one a lot for if I lived in an apartment, you know how I want to brush my teeth twice a day?
Yeah.
I want to walk my dogs once a day.
Like take them for like a walk.
Take them for put them on leash and walk them. Regardless of the weather. Because you have to.
Yeah.
Pickles has to go outside.
Yes.
When we lived in Port and we didn't have a backyard.
Yeah. Stella had to go outside.
I got off work at 3:30 in the morning and walked Stella.
Yep.
Now, it's cold, man.
I have to go and walk Pickles.
It's cold or it's hot.
I had to walk Pickles before we left. I have to walk him when I go home.
Or it's raining or it's... I wish. I know that if my circumstances were different, I would find the time.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine a reality where I get a promotion at work and end up in an apartment in Williamsburg. And I'll have to walk a dog.
Yeah.
2 dogs. Twice a day.
That would suck.
But I'd do it.
Yeah.
I'd find the time.
You'd find the time, yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I would love to have a Peloton. I wish I had space for a Peloton.
Put it in your guest room.
There's not space for that.
You can make space. The room's big enough.
I'd have to get rid of the bed or something.
Mm-mm. I'm positive you could have a Peloton. They're not that big. You want to go look at it? I mean, it's not that big.
It's big enough that, like, I don't know. It's big enough that it would be significantly in the way at all times.
I've thought about moving mine more in the way.
More in the way?
More in the way. I want to move it. Emily would never let me do this, but you know that space behind the chaise where, like, behind it is the front of the house? That's where I want it.
Okay. I can see that.
I mean, it would look awful.
Yeah.
but
yeah.
But that's where I want it. Because then you can't avoid it.
Yeah.
Then it's staring at you every day. I want to repurpose this basement into a man cave again.
But like your brother did the thing earlier this year where he did the Peloton every day for a month.
I did it for 63 days.
Did you? Every day?
Yeah.
Dang.
And then Holden was born on day 64.
Well, yeah. I mean,
And since then, I've ridden it maybe 4 times.
That's the thing is like I know I would use the Peloton if I had the Peloton because it's like fun.
It is fun.
And it doesn't require me to like get up and drive to the gym.
You know what the barrier is with the Peloton? And this is such a stupid problem.
What?
The special shoes.
I have a pair of the shoes.
I know you do, but it's putting them on.
Oh man, those are the easiest shoes to put on. Just whoop.
Oh, you got the boas?
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't have boas.
Absolutely.
I've got like the roller skates.
Oh.
But they're like
no. Yeah, I got the boas, man. I mean, my shoes are for like biking. They like go on my bike.
Right.
So yeah, I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna buy the ones with the whoop.
With the boa?
With the boa. The thing's great. I wish all shoes had that. I mean, it's tacky, but like
get some Saucony switchbacks.
But like to have my shoes just be like perfectly the correct amount of tight that I want it at all times, phenomenal. No notes. So you try to tie shoes, and it's like I gotta kind of pull the thing, and then this one's loose, and then this one's loose.
Do you ever find yourself heading into 2023 no longer denying yourself certain simple pleasures?
What?
I'll tell you mine. I, in the past month, have started going to sleep every night listening to ASMR.
I've been doing that for 5 years.
I know you've been doing it for a long time, but it was a simple pleasure that like I would deny myself. It's because especially if I was watching a YouTube video, this was like a weird self-conscious thing. Was like I didn't want Emily to look over and be like, "Why are you watching a pretty girl pretend to touch your face?" It's like,
I mean, some of them are weird. Don't get me wrong.
Some of them get.
Don't get me wrong.
And I will say they get very. I don't love the sultry so much, but I do like whispers. I like affirmations. a lot.
I have very specific needs when it comes to ASMR.
Needs,
not needs,
that
but like
sounds sultry.
not needs. Okay, so like, I'm not interested in like sand cutting.
No, I
or I don't really even care about tapping.
Tapping's
It's
not bad.
the talking for me.
Talking is good. Anytime
like,
you're blowing out a speaker with something that you're putting against a Yeti microphone, that typically does it for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So like it doesn't matter what the content of the video is, as long as it's got the right kind of sounds.
Yeah.
But then like sometimes I watch the videos and I'm like, okay.
This is a lot.
This is weird.
My wife is here.
You've made it weird. Yeah, I'm laying in bed next to the person I love. There's a dog in between us who just
Yeah.
This is how Pickle sleeps.
What other simple pleasures will I not deny myself?
So I'll be honest with you, I stopped denying myself simple pleasures like probably when my dad died. Because it was like, I'm not going to cope otherwise. Mm-hmm. I just stopped asking myself, like, is it right to want to do this thing or not? Is it right to, like, are people going to care? I did my best to just stop caring whether or not other people cared. I also tried to just stop, like, worrying about, like, telling people things. I don't know.
I'll tell you this one. This is a 2023 hobby that made my list, was start an ASMR channel. Do you know what the problem with that is?
What?
I have to fucking do the TikTok thing.
I don't know that you do.
I have to edit videos. I have to I have to be a video production person.
But the problem with you doing ASMR is you're gonna have to be up at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
I know.
Like making quiet noises in a room by yourself.
Welcome back.
So I had a great idea for an ASMR channel that I still might follow through on. And it's a channel called ASMR Zard, where you do ASMR Pokemon playthroughs.
Ooh.
I love a good pun.
I do love a good, that's a portmanteau.
Yeah, that one.
I love a good port wine.
I do as well. I don't know if you're being truthful or not, but I do as well.
They're like the dark reds, right?
Yeah, like the dessert red.
Yeah. Like Redvolution.
No. This is not a port.
No.
This is a red blend.
That's barely red.
Yeah, this is... Looks cool with the light through it.
I think starting the ASMR channel would be fun. I don't know. That's the thing, is I feel like, and now that I'm expressing it here on the podcast, I feel like
you're going to have to commit to it.
Like Tori is going to come up to me.
Tori Wood.
And
Tori
be
from
like,
Twitter.
oh my gosh, I would so watch it if you had an ASMR channel.
Oh my God. I just noticed today, speaking of Tori Wood, if you're watching this, we're going to narrowcast as hard as possible here for a second. Tori Wood messaged me on Discord on November 18th.
Oh no.
And I just saw it this day.
What's she want?
She said, hey, how you been, man? It's been a while since we talked.
That's very sweet of her.
Yeah.
One time, this is a true story, Rachel Bartholomew.
She texted me when she got her first tattoo.
And I think Tori, oh, good for Tori.
Yeah.
I have a tattoo. Oh, I don't think the listeners have seen it. I have a bee on my chest.
Yeah. That blue does look cool.
Isn't it sweet?
Yeah.
And orange. It's for bacon and eggs colors, but also for Becca Eddowes.
Rest in peace.
Don't pour it out.
I wasn't going to pour it out. Okay. I was doing a cheers.
Because she wouldn't drink it.
No. She wasn't much of a drinker.
No. Do you think Scrooge would visit you?
So I was sitting here thinking about this movie, or thinking during this movie. I was like, I would love for this to happen to me. I would love for this to happen to me. if just like, cause like, I don't particularly think I'm on like the wrong path. I do my best. Generally try to lead a, life that I would want to be remembered by. I tried my best to care about people, but like, I would love for three ghosts to come be like, okay, here's a pretty simple answer of how to fix everything that's wrong with your life.
Yeah. You kind of goofed it here.
So just don't do this again. Apologize to this person, fix this thing, and then we'll be good.
But if you don't do that,
you're going to rot in hell forever.
I did think this movie kind of took a dark turn where it was like, oh yeah, the 8th grader committed suicide.
Yeah. That was a bold one.
I was like, whoa.
That was the one where I was like, oh, they just went for it. Okay.
Put a little TW at the start of this movie.
Yeah. But I mean, it's a Netflix movie, man. They can just do whatever.
It's Apple TV.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, I'm getting old enough in my life now that like I will sometimes say like, oh, it's a Netflix thing about just all things that originated on streaming.
It's a YouTube original.
It's not a YouTube original.
I saw this and then I watched the wine cone video.
Watched Rhett and Link's Buddy System.
And then I watched Vlog Brothers 2.0. Brotherhood 2.0.
I watched Brotherhood 2.0 earlier this year.
Nice.
Yeah. Just like all of it.
I listened to Balance in the car the other day.
Nice.
It's basically the same.
It's not.
I'm your dungeon master. I'm your best friend. I'm your
root beer boy.
Ragtime gal.
The one I always think of is root beer boy. When he was like, I just drank a whole mess of root beer.
I want to play D&D more in 2023.
I never would have guessed.
Do you want to play D&D more in 2023? You play pretty regularly. You have like a podcast about that.
Yeah. I haven't played in a long time, but yeah.
I like the characters we currently have.
It's one of those things where like, it is something I always enjoy doing, but I never like yearn for it. Like ever.
Anytime I listen to or watch a D&D podcast or show, I'm like, I have to do this. That's something I feel like I take shortcuts on is D&D. Is I always feel like I don't know my character well enough or I don't know the setting I'm DMing well enough. And then I feel like I get backed into a corner and my players or DM suffer for it.
As somebody who's DM'd for you, I'm trying to think. It's been a long time though.
I was very, very proud of Merrick Tea Leaf. I don't think I messed that one up very much. He had a very simple tick, which was that like he's going to tell the truth.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a lot of complex structure to Merrick.
Yeah.
When I think about Mick,
you interrupt people is your biggest problem with D&D.
Is that my biggest problem with this podcast?
No.
Okay.
I think we've learned to talk over each other correctly in the past 5 years. Yeah, I would say not to like make you self-conscious or anything. I don't necessarily think you should change this, but you do interrupt people a lot in D&D.
I think
like there were many times when I was D&D or DMing where you would just talk over me while I'm trying to like set a scene.
Oh. Yeah, I believe that. I also know that like I a lot of times will go into I think I will compensate for feeling ill prepared by like leaning on my natural charisma, which has its own advantages in D&D, but I also think can be a disservice to players who lack that natural charisma.
Yeah, I think I am probably a hard person to play D&D with for people that aren't charismatic.
Yeah.
And aren't like natural improvisers.
I don't know if I'm that good at naturally improvising. I'd love to take like an improv class.
Yeah, same. I that's something I wish I'd done in college. It's something I wish I had like been involved with when we lived in a place where there was like a comedy scene and like stuff like that.
Because if you want to do comedy here, you just got to tell dick jokes.
I want to do an open mic so bad. I want to try it. I want to try to do stand up. So my thing with D&D is like I don't think about a character for more than 30 seconds before I play him.
I know this about you, and I will say this as somebody that plays D&D with you.
Yeah.
a lot of times between games, if you and I are both players, I will want to talk to you about our characters, and you're like, "Yeah, I got nothing, man. He's a guy, he exists, and when I put his face on, he's there."
Yep, I got nothing.
And I'll be like, I wrote 80,000 words about the history.
I could not. That game that we played with Beth, I could not tell you the name of my character. Either of them.
My character's name is Mick Queen.
I remember you called me an asshole when we played that game. And I got so annoyed at you, like in real life, that I made a snap character decision about it.
I didn't call you an asshole in real life. I called you an asshole in the game.
No, I know you did. But I got annoyed with you in real life about it. Because I was like, he's just not like listening or understanding what I'm going for here, so I'm just going to change the thing that I'm doing, and turned my character into like an active thief in that moment.
Thought it was so good. I've even thought about your character since then, and there was a moment in that game where you used 2 mage hands at the same time, and I was like, how can we play that into his character, that there is like an odd job type character, like a henchman almost, that he has kind of lurking in the shadows.
To do the second mage hand. How can we play that into the story? Yeah.
Because you can only do 1 mage hand.
Yeah. But like and this is my other problem as a player character, is I DM pretty loosely, so I impose that on the DM as a player character sometimes. I mean, you do the same thing. Where I will just assume that my DM is going with rule of cool when it doesn't actually matter. Because I won't usually do it. Like, I'm not going to use 2 mage hands in combat.
Right.
But when I'm trying to high five somebody with one hand and drink champagne with the other hand, like.
But I think, like, in
it's
my
just
mind,
more fun to say the thing and let somebody stop me.
In my mind, that still enhances the situation of, like, if we find out down the line that he had this henchman working for him, like, that colors the story so much more. And that's why he never does it in combat, because the henchman doesn't fight.
Yeah, I thought about that guy for literally 30 seconds.
Patty Paddington. I could tell you a lot about the world I created for
The Duck World.
Oh God, I can't think of the freaking name. Foul Water.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with. I mean, obviously, there's not anything wrong with that. Like, that's how you tell a good story, and then like.
But the problem with Foul Water was I created this setting, and I can picture it in my brain. I know a lot about it. I have a hard time with NPCs.
You remember?
I think is something I really need to work on.
Do you remember Maple Story?
Yeah, I remember Maple Story.
That's what I imagined Foul Water looks like. Is because with the first mission we did was we fought a bunch of mushrooms. Mm-hmm. So I imagined like the mushrooms from Maple Story.
That is not what I pictured. Although that's good.
So like I legitimately the whole time we were playing that game, it was a combination of that, and you remember like the tree village in Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire.
Yeah.
That combined with Maple Story.
So the way I had pictured it, that's a good way to describe it. I think that I can very easily see how you came to that. I pictured a lot more Klaus.
I mean, that makes sense.
Because it was a male academy.
Yeah. Actually, it had been long enough since I watched Klaus and we played that game that it didn't occur to me. And then I watched Klaus like a week ago and I was like, this reminds me of
Postmaster's Academy.
Yeah. Of Puddles.
Foul Water.
Reminds me of Puddles.
Puddles the bartender. I love Puddles the bartender. I think about him a lot. That's a character I'm proud to have created.
So basically what I do, my entire character creation is to come up with a voice and let the voice talk. And so people will like ask me, because I was on a D&D podcast. People will be like, how did you come up with XYZ for Ben Allen Roth? And I'm like, he just talks. Like it sounds crazy to say that, but it's like I stop talking and he talks. Like
he's there.
He's just there. Yeah. Cause then you go watch that Inside the Actor Studio when they're talking to all the Simpsons actors and James Lipton's like, is Lisa here? Can I speak to Lisa? And I'm like, this is the corniest thing ever. And then somebody would come up to be like, can I talk to Ben Allen Roth right now? And I'd be like, yeah, absolutely. Let me just Hey, it's me, Ben Allen Roth.
Hey, it's me, Chewbacca from the Star Wars.
Listen, I'm like a fucking douchebag from New York. Like, I don't know what you want from me.
Is that who Ben Allen Roth was?
Yeah. Yeah. He was
I know he's a Broadway actor. Or like
he was a disgraced Broadway actor. Yeah.
Yeah. Barr.
Yeah. That was his stage name.
Ben Allen Roth?
Yeah.
What was his real name?
Michael LaGuardia D'Amato.
Wow.
Yeah.
LaGuardia like the airport?
LaGuardia like the airport. Because his granddad was friends with Fiorello LaGuardia.
Ah.
And he grew up in Brooklyn and then moved to Manhattan to go to NYU and like pretended he was from Cleveland.
D&D I'd like to do a D&D podcast.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
But I know how much work you did for LTTP, and the thought of imposing that on somebody.
Editing a D&D podcast, that's a lot of fucking work. Like, there's no way around it. Like, it's 4, 5, 6 people talking. Like, it's a lot. The episodes we did with Brennan, when like Scott was still around, and it was plus Brennan Lee Mulligan, that was 6 people.
It's a lot.
It was a lot of people.
We'll space everything out, make sure nobody's talking over each other.
Some days I still cannot believe I got to do that.
I mean, that is literally like, that's like that is the equivalent of like going out and catching a football with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, like I had Brennan Lee Mulligan making decisions for his character based around decisions I made for my character.
Right. Did you know Gardner Minshew is starting for the Eagles this week?
No shit.
Yeah. Jalen Hurts is
I didn't know he's out. I didn't know Gardner Minshew ended up there.
Yeah.
God.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate the Eagles. You know what? Actually, this is going to be a few minutes of football talk, and then we'll wrap the episode. You don't watch the NFL right now, so you don't care. The NFL is using its status as an entertainment industry to blackball Dan Snyder, which I think is a smart move.
Yeah.
But also I hate. And they blatantly called the game against us on Sunday night, which is I know they've given us a few games this season, so I can't complain. But basically what they've done is they've drawn.
Yeah, I saw a lot of really salty Commanders fans after this game.
They're
not fixing games.
They are absolutely.
They're not fixing games.
They're fixing. They fixed games for us, and I've seen
They're
it happen.
not fixing games, Tyler.
Yes, this is exactly what
It's
they're
been
doing.
100 years, man. They're not fixing games.
This is exactly what they will do anything to get Dan Snyder out, and I'm with that. Get rid of Dan Snyder. They have put us in a position where the team that is going to lose their playoff spot is the Commanders in favor of the Lions.
Are the Lions close enough that they can make the playoffs? God, the NFC sucks this year.
They're a half game behind us.
Holy hell, the NFC is bad this year. Man.
Tom Brady, this is my
Tom Brady's going to make the playoffs at like
6-10.
6-10, yeah. 6-11.
My theory is that Tom Brady is throwing games.
I don't know what he's doing.
I think he's throwing games because this is my theory. In 2011, the Giants were the first team in Super Bowl history to win the Super Bowl with a negative point differential on the season. They scored 396 points. They had 400 points scored against them throughout the season.
Yeah.
They went 9-7.
So Tom Brady wants to be on the best team to win the Super Bowl and then the worst team to win the Super Bowl?
Yes. I think Tom Brady wants to be on the worst team to win the Super Bowl.
I could see that.
And they did it in 2011 or 2012, I guess is when the game happened.
Yeah.
They were playing the Patriots.
Well, I mean, because all he's got to do is get in to the playoffs. Like,
yeah, NFC South,
yeah,
he's fine.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he doesn't need to win games in the regular season. He just needs to get into the playoffs.
Right.
Because once he gets in the playoffs, I mean, he can just be Tom Brady, right?
If you watch Bucks lowlights from this season, which I would call the opposite of highlights, they're throwing games. Mike Evans is dropping wide open passes. Mike Evans, an elite receiver.
An elite receiver, yeah. Did you see the Gio Bernard interview? Mm-mm. After he, I don't know, messed up a fake punt and like did the Marshawn Lynch, like I'm just here so I won't get fined thing, where they were like, I guess it was one of the first games he's played all season and didn't want to talk to the reporters because they were like catching him as he was leaving. And he was like, man, y'all ain't talked to me all season. Why do you want to talk to me now after I mess up the fake punt? And one reporter goes, well, you were injured all season. What should we talk to you about? Which is like fair, but she was a real dick to him. And so he just goes, listen, fake punt was a miscommunication. That's on me. And they start asking him more and more questions. He just goes, it's all my fault. It's on me. It's my fault. It's on me. Hey, it's my fault. Hey, that's my fault. It's on me. For like 3 straight minutes, just standing there looking the camera dead in the face like, that's my fault. So like, yeah, if you tell me the Bucs are throwing games, I could absolutely believe that.
I believe the Bucs are throwing games. I believe if the Commanders don't make, if everything stays the same right now, but the Lions edge out the Commanders in the playoffs, all three other NFC East teams will be in the playoffs. The wild card would be Cowboys, Giants, Lions. I think that's rigged.
I mean, it's not unheard of though. Like
all 4 teams in a division to make the playoffs.
Not all 4, but
for 3, yeah, that's normal.
3. Well, yeah, I mean that's your job. 3 making it.
But I think the whole point is that the Commanders have this amazing comeback season.
How can all 4 can't make the playoffs?
Yeah, there's 3 wild card spots.
Oh, that's new.
No.
Yes.
Or there's
yes, that's new, Tyler. If there's 3 wild card spots, that's new.
There's
6 positions from each division.
No, there's 7.
That's new.
Because there's a first week bye.
Okay, that's new.
It's not that new.
It's new as of last year, maybe. Mm-mm. Yes, sir. 100%.
No, because the top seed gets a bye.
The top 2 seeds get a bye. The last time I watched football, like, which was, I guess, the 2021 playoffs, or the playoffs that happened in 2020 at the end of the 2020 season.
I'll tell you one thing. If Jalen Hurts plays football, Eagles will win the Super Bowl 45-0.
No way. Fucking Brock Purdy. Let's go.
Dude,
49ers. Dude's winning.
I know
Dude's going to win games.
He's the next Brady.
Dude's going to win games.
He'll get the Super Bowl next season.
Jimmy Garoppolo's going to win a 3rd ring from the bench.
From the bench.
No, the last time I watched football, like, properly was the playoffs at the end of the 2020 season. And there were 6 teams from each conference. Like, it's been my entire life.
Well, there are 7 teams from each conference.
So that is new as of last year.
Okay.
Don't expect me to know that off the top of my head, is the point I'm making.
All 4 NFC East teams are in as of
So
today.
then it is unheard of because it could not have happened 2 years ago.
And
because there was the year that everybody in the NFC South made it except the Bucs. It was Saints, Panthers, Falcons in the playoffs.
Panthers can make the playoffs. They're a game back
No way.
on the Bucs.
Okay, so they could beat Tom Brady. They could knock Tom Brady out.
I mean, I don't even know who they have playing quarterback. Sam Darnold, maybe? I don't know.
Playing quarterback in Carolina. Sam Darnold sounds about right.
Yeah, maybe, sure.
I don't know.
Colin Kaepernick.
One of those USC guys.
Yeah. Anyway, this has been Bacon and Eggs. This is a fun show. I hope you liked it. Come back next week. We'll still be here. Our music's by Andrew.
Remember Johnny Manziel?
Yeah, I remember Johnny Manziel. Our graphics are by Vaishon. Our editing is by Ethan. Our Riz is by Tyler.
Our Riz
is by me.
Merry Christmas. That's the end of the episode.
Merry Christmas.
Stop.
What's up, TikTok?
Define Riz.
It's short for charisma.
Is it?
Yes.
I did not know that. Did not know that.
Yeah. Got that one for you.
What's your charisma stat? Like you personally.
What is a standard allocation? You get an 18?
I've never used a standard allocation.
What, you roll?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
I think charisma would be my highest stat.
I think the first time I used a standard allocation for whatever my character's name, Barney something, in the game we played with Beth. And that was the first time I ever done it.
I always do it. I don't want to roll.
I roll.
That sounds like work. I don't want to roll in the game. I attack. I hit. The end.
You want to roll a game, but you don't want to play the game.
I do want to play the game.
You just want to say stuff.
No, I
just write a book.
I do want to write a book. I want to get better at writing.
That's what D&D without the dice is. It's just writing.
I do want to get more into writing.
Storytelling
too. That's on my hobby list. And I've been writing by
So that's
hand.
what I didn't want to say was that's my New Year's resolution is to actually finish a book in 2023.
I don't want to finish a book. I just want to write. I don't do enough of that. Of like, these are words that I don't have to put on paper.
Yeah. I want to finish a book in 2023.
I believe in you. Thanks for listening to the show. I love you. Mwah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You old building and loan.
Happy holidays. Those are the two things that I say.
Yep.
I send emails at work and I say, Happy holidays. This is Tyler. And people often respond, Merry Christmas, Tyler. And I feel like it's like, are you trying to get at me with something?
No, I think at this point it's just say the thing that you want to say.
I'm not mad. Say whatever you want.
Yeah, like
I feel like they're mad that I said Happy holidays.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and assume that they are just saying Merry Christmas because that's the thing they want to say.
I mean, yeah, I don't like start a fight mid-email chain. Like, what is that supposed to mean? Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
It means Merry Christmas.
It means Merry Christmas.
I'm celebrating Christmas. But I did feel weird. I was sending out emails.
That was not anything I expected to happen.
I was sending out emails the first day of Hanukkah, and I was like, Happy holidays. I feel like today I can say
I'm going to
Happy
forget to fix that because we won't record again until next year.
Are you going to be
Probably
gone next week?
I'll be gone next Tuesday, yeah.
Deuces.